Deborah was a young girl who lived in Lagos with her parents. Her father was a civil servant, and her mother was a full-time housewife. They did not have much money. Sometimes, there was no food at home, and Deborah wished for a better life. She wanted to wear fine clothes, use big phones, and live in a big house. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. One day, Deborah met her friend Sandra. Sandra always wore expensive clothes and had a fancy phone. Deborah asked her, "How do you get all these things?" Sandra smiled and said, "I have rich friends who give me money. If you want, I can introduce you to them." Deborah thought about it. She wanted to help her parents and live well. So, she agreed. Sandra took Deborah to a big hotel, where she met a wealthy man. He gave her money and gifts. Deborah was happy. She used the money to buy fine clothes and bring food home. Her mother was happy, and her father did not ask where the money came from. Deborah continued meeting rich men who gave her money. She saved a lot and told her parents, "I will build a big house for you." Her mother was proud, and her father said, "God bless you, my daughter." Deborah built a beautiful house. It was bigger than any house in the village. People praised her and said, "Deborah is a good daughter." No one asked how she got the money. One day, Deborah met a new man. He was very rich and promised to take care of her. He gave her more money than the others. He bought her a car and took her on trips. Deborah was very happy. One night, the man called her. "Come to my house. I have a special gift for you," he said. Deborah was excited. She dressed in her best clothes and went to his house. But after that night, Deborah did not come home. Her mother waited and called her phone, but it was off. She told her husband, Deborah did not come home. They searched for her. They asked Sandra, but Sandra did not know where she was. They went to the police, who started looking for Deborah. Days passed. Then, the police brought news. Deborah was found, but she was not the same. Something terrible had happened. Her parents were heartbroken. Her mother cried every day. Her father stopped going to work. People in the village whispered, "Deborah's money came too fast. Look at what happened to her." The big house that once had joy became silent and empty. Deborah's mother could not stop crying. She sat in the big house her daughter built, but it did not feel like home anymore. She called Deborah's name every day, but there was no answer. Her father sat outside, staring at the sky. He used to be proud of Deborah, but now he felt only pain. He wished he had asked her where she got her money. He wished he had warned her. But now, it was too late. People in the neighborhood stopped talking about Deborah. At first, they whispered, but soon, they moved on with their lives. Only her parents could not move on. The big house was empty, and their hearts were empty too. One day, Sandra came to visit. She stood at the gate, afraid to enter. Deborah's mother saw her and said, "You brought my daughter into this life. Now she is gone." Sandra's eyes filled with tears. "I did not know this would happen," she said. "I only wanted her to have a better life." Deborah's mother shook her head. "A better life is not built on fast money," she said. Look at where it led her. Sandra left, and she never came back. Time passed, but the pain did not go away. Deborah's father fell sick. He stopped talking. He sat in the big house, staring at nothing. He missed his daughter, but she was never coming back. One day, Deborah's mother locked the big house and went back to their old small house. "This house is too big for me," she said. "But my heart is too empty to enjoy it." And so, the big house stood alone, like a sad reminder of Deborah's life. It was once full of joy, but now, it was just a house with no laughter. Deborah's story became a lesson for the young girls in the village. Mothers told their daughters, "Do not follow the wrong path. Fast money is dangerous." But for Deborah's mother and father, the lesson came too late. And in their hearts, the pain never left.